Hi everyone, Mr. Oliver here from the James Prendergast Library with another STEAM Concepts from our Makerspace video. And once again this week we are talking about one of our new library science kits, specifically our electricity kit. So electricity is a lot of fun, it can be very dangerous, but it's always important to learn and understand the basics of it because in the world all around us, almost everything we do uses electricity in some way or another. So today, what I'm going to be discussing is how to make a simple circuit and how to make a simple switch circuit. And the difference between the two is primarily this switch here. So in a simple circuit, what I have is a power source and then an object. That's it, just these two, and then they get connected together and something happens. Now, with a simple switch circuit, I still have a power source, and I still have an object, in this case a light, but I have to connect the object and the power source via a switch and an extra piece of cable. In just a minute, we'll go in there and look at what that is. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an overview of what's going on. So, let's talk about our simple circuit first. What I do, so I already have this set up. Our power source today is going to be a D-cell battery. So it's bigger than your average battery that you'd use like in a Game Boy or in a video game Surface or controller. This is something you would use to power a flashlight, but you wouldn't use just one, you'd use like 4, maybe 5. And they're really big and they're really powerful. So I have it inserted into here, I have it inserted into our battery pack here, and then I have rotated it to make sure, there it is, this plus symbol right here is pointing up. This lets me know that it is the positive end of the battery. So in some other batteries, you'll see a minus sign, and that's the negative end of the battery. And that just lets you know which way the direction of the electricity is flowing and how you're supposed to connect your objects together. So, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and if you can see here, I've curved the ends of these wires just a little bit. Now the wires are really thin and really small, so it might be hard to see. But what I'm going to do is connect them to these little holes on the end of my power pack here. And that just helps them stay together. So I'm going to first connect our positive end with the red wire. And then over here on the negative end, I'm going to connect a black wire. Do you guys hear that noise? What happens if I take it off and I just tap? Notice how I can control the length of the beeping? This is actually in a very, I won't say ancient form of communication, but a very old form of communication. It's called Telegrapher, or Morse code, depending on what you're doing. So let's say back in the Civil War, this is how we were able to communicate all the way from, say, New York City, all the way down to New Orleans in the matter of a couple hours. So if we wanted to direct troops or ships or say, I want some flour, we could send that message and we'd use a special series of what they call dots and dashes. And in fact, our military still uses some of this today for special, when they have to do survival training or in special situations where the radios and other things don't work. So, really cool, kind of interesting thing. All right, so that is our simple circuit. Battery, wires, device, all connected together in one thing. All right, so let's make it a little bit more complicated. And what I'm going to do, I'll have this here. And as you see, I have a black end and a red end, just like our light bulb did. Sorry, not our light bulb, our noisemaker. I am going to connect around our black end here. I'm going to wrap this wire around it. Screw it down to make sure it's tight. I'm then going to connect it to the negative end of our battery. All right, so I've connected the wire around the black post to the negative end of our battery. And now what I'm going to do is connect the red wire to the negative end over here, or sorry, not the negative end, the red wire to the red post. Connect the red wire to the red post over here, and I'm making sure this is down, and look what happens to our light bulb when I connect the black wire to the positive end. My question is, what if I stand this up? Nothing happens. So what's happening, if I can zoom in on this right here, if you see I have this strip of metal and a screw here, and then a strip of metal and screw here, this smaller screw over here, this is our red terminal and this is our black terminal. So right now, even if I was to touch the black end of the wire to the positive end of our battery, they're not actually connected. It's not a complete circuit. But then if I put the switch down, now it is. So that's what makes a simple circuit and a simple switch circuit different. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this. I have a lot of fun with these experiments. And until next week, have a good day.